we need to address is, do we want to continue to be involved, since we've got 2 new commissioners, and I probably need to wait till John gets back. Do we want to continue to be involved in public lands issues? Do we still want to go to D.C., go to wherever?
Public land. Well, PILT is kind of public lands issue, but you went to PILT and we were successful. We need to have a big showing back there to keep that going. That's $3 million for this budget.
It's huge. It's enormous. Now, and I think I mentioned this the other night, that PILT has made it through the House appropriations. So now it goes to Senate appropriations, and then they have to sort out the differences.
So right before a vote, then they may schedule that field trip back there right before that.
And we may need to go, we have had a great effect on that. The first year I went, it was, well, you're gonna go see your congressional delegation, and my complaint was, I know what our congressional delegation thinks. I've had those conversations with them at different events individually, so I know what they think. We need to be talking to
the other guys,
these other states, and I made that statement in a room with 80 people, 80 other commissioners. And so this last fall, when we went, that's exactly what we did. We went to New Jersey, Illinois, Tennessee, Texas. We went to their congressional delegations and gave our pitch. And as you might expect, there were a number of those people who didn't even know what PILT was. Now, there were those that also knew exactly what it was and were very much in favor of it. So I felt like we had a big effect this last time on PILT. Now, each trip, of course, most of the other states have a tendency to go and talk to their delegations while they're there. Wyoming sits down with the BLM director, with the Interior Department people, with Fish and Wildlife, with Forest Service, and we're sitting just like we are right here, right now, and have those conversations about specific items. So that's what happens back there. Myself, I feel like it's well worth the expenditure. Those are the DC trips are probably the most expensive that we do, but it's because every meal, your room, everything in DC just takes your breath away. And airfares. Our airfares, are 20-25% more than even our trips to Hawaii. DC is horribly expensive to go to. And that's part of the reason I have taken so much money out of my own pocket and put into this line item. I want as many of us to go as possible. The more voices we have, the more likely we are to get something done.
Wyoming has about 20 votes, but we use 10 of them. And so we really need more people to go back there. But it is going to come up lots of issues that affect the state, whether it's coal or oil and gas, let alone the wilderness study areas and those kind of things. So I think it is important.
And of course, we push back on all those, for the counties, for the state, and they're very important issues. It's like our old director used to tell us: if you're not at the table, you're on the menu. So It's a matter of, do we want to have a voice, and how much of a voice?
I would agree with the comment that I heard you guys make a couple of weeks ago. It said, that basically there had to be a change in the administration, in the president's office before any real change can be made. I was in a meeting, about a year or so ago with a lady who's in the energy department. She's fourth down from President Obama. And she was extremely excited about I think it was Brazil, it would help them become energy independent, right? And they were going to help China with their economy, because a healthier China is a friendlier China, was her belief. And I couldn't disagree more. Coal, Rob, that you mentioned. I mean, that is a problem. But the current administration doesn't think there is such a thing as clean coal, and we're losing a lot of jobs in Wyoming because of that. I was excited to see that excited to hear actually the EPA a week ago came out and announced that fracking doesn't affect the aquifer, doesn't have any effect on clean water, right? So I guess where I'm at, I mean, if we have any issues that need to be heard in Washington D.C., I would prefer that we just spend a little time and just walk across the street, because we can do that. I mean, we're so blessed in Wyoming to be able to walk across the street, and if we can't talk to Cynthia Lummis, we can talk to her staff, and they'll certainly relay the message. Or Brasso is certainly easily accessible, right? And so it would be my recommendation that we go that route, and because I'm just I'm just not seeing the benefit, right? And I think the impression that we as commissioners are giving to the other departments is a poor one, because if we're asking them to be conservative in their travel and training budgets, and we're flying, Washington D.C. and Hawaii, it's just it's not one. So I would put $2,000 as my recommendation for travel budget.